What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Slowburn Show, episode number 4, 4 in a row. We're on a streak here, keeping it consistent. I like to hit one for every week this year. If we could do that, that'd be awesome. But
Yeah.
there's not really too much MMA news, but I'm gonna pull out these topics real quick. Conor and Tony are rumored to be the next Ultimate Fighter coaches, and I think that would be a blast promotion-wise. I've also heard Michael Chandler being involved with that. It could be Michael Chandler and Conor, but I just like to hear that Conor is almost 90% for sure coming back. And I don't know how he's going to look in his return, but what do you think about that? Which one would you want to see more, Tony or Michael?
I think I'd rather see Michael just because I just feel like Tony's on the end.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know. I just feel like he's on the end of his his path. And haven't they already done it? Like haven't they already both been coaches?
Yeah, I think they've all or I don't know if Tony's been a coach. I know Conor for sure has. I don't think
I don't know.
Tony has been a coach.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like whoever it is gonna be entertaining no matter what, just because of who they are.
Right, I agree. And I think either way they do it, someone's gonna get a win on the end of it, and all three of those dudes need a win, and so benefit either one of those, Tony or Michael, especially Conor. But Conor is gonna be Conor anyway, with the Ultimate Fighter or without it. He's gonna be throwing women off of yachts. Apparently, I don't know if you saw that one.
I did not see that one.
He's alleged. This is all alleged. This woman said that she was with Conor McGregor on one of his yachts, and he got like belligerent drunk and like threatened to beat her up or something. She jumped off and swam in the ocean, and the Coast Guard saved her. And then she told the Coast Guard that Conor McGregor did all that shit, so he's dealing with that stuff.
Wait, that happened recently?
Mhm.
That sounded like it happened so long. I didn't even know that.
No, that happened like
I'm so
not too long before his bike accident, like maybe a week or two before his bike accident.
that's
It's all alleged though, and we know how
crazy. Yeah.
people can be. They'll come after anybody with some money. Uh, you got any non MMA topics? We can move on from that.
I got LeBron James. He's reaching that what's it called
All time scoring
leading
leader.
score, all time scorer,
Mhm.
which that's crazy. Just it doesn't matter what sport it is. You see someone getting close to that all time score. It's like we're never gonna see another one like that in our lifetime. That's just something right there.
Yeah. What year did LeBron get into the NBA? Because he didn't do college, right? He went straight from
No,
high school.
yeah, he was 18 when he won the league.
He went
I think he was 2003. I think that's what
2003.
it was.
Three
Yeah.
At 3 years old, I couldn't even contemplate what a basketball was. But I speaking of another guy that's up there with like big stats, Tom Brady retiring, and
Mm.
I was looking at his stats, and he threw more passing yards in his 40s than he did in his 20s. Now, mind that maybe part of his 20s he was like riding the bench or something, but that's just crazy to me, having more stats in your 40s than in your 20s.
I just think it's crazy how like you see all these like basketball players, they can leave at college after like 1 year,
Mhm.
and then you got like the football players who like have to their junior years when they can leave
Right.
when they're like 22 or 21 or 20 or something like. I don't even know what the exact age is, but it's just so crazy how different sports are.
Yeah,
Like
the
college.
rules and stuff.
Hmm.
And what was I gonna say? Oh, maybe the reason why football they let you or they want you to play more years is maybe they want you to grow more into your manhood because of like people like Damar Hamlin. Somebody was trying to make a point of why Damar Hamlin, like maybe because he's not a full grown man and he was out there playing with like 30-year-olds and getting maybe because it didn't look like the biggest hit on Damar Hamlin than when he went down. I don't know if you've seen that,
Yeah, I've seen it.
but maybe that's why. Maybe they want them to just grow fully into their manhood. But I'm happy for did they he hasn't hit the all time scoring yet, right? LeBron, he hasn't hit it
No,
yet.
He's like 63. He's like 2 or 3 points away,
Uh,
or games away.
Okay. I heard or I saw a thing on Instagram where the tickets for the game where he could break it are going for like 90,000 or something.
And people just want to be a part of history.
That's crazy.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pay that much money to get the free stream on Stream East, if you know what I'm saying. So my next MMA topic is Laura Sanko makes her commentary debut this weekend. She'll be the first woman in the modern UFC era to commentate a fight card. There was a lady on I was watching the old UFCs actually yesterday, and I was watching like UFC 1 where they were able to like stomp each other on the head when they were on the ground.
Yeah.
And
There wasn't weight classes.
no weight classes. There was no time limit, which I totally forget about that aspect where they just were basically like, y'all go until someone
First one
taps
yeah.
or fully unconscious. But there was a girl that commentated UFC 1. I think her name was Katie Long. I can't remember, and I'm pretty sure she was a tennis lady, tennis girl. The commentator booth was like a tennis lady, a football player, and just some random old white guy. But do you have any I guess opinions or congratulations to say to Laura Sanko? She's been doing the damn thing.
I don't even know. I mean, I've heard of the name, but I really don't know much about her.
Oh,
I mean,
you haven't seen her?
I'm pretty sure I've seen her. Is she the one that like when fighters are walking out, like she's like right there?
Mm-hmm. Not Megan O'Leary. Which
Oh, yeah,
she doesn't have dark hair. She doesn't have dark hair. She has like long blonde hair, and her eyes are huge as hell. She's like this with blue eyes.
I don't know. I feel like it'll be a big step because you see like the women's division is just only getting bigger, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Besides
so,
45, 145 is kind of nothing with Amanda Nunes. She kind of just runs that.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how you see how like DC, he retired and became one of those.
Mhm.
Like a commentator. I feel like you'll see more of that.
Yeah.
The women's division now, and then you have like their take on things.
Mhm. I
Have, like,
agree.
different opinions. You know?
Yeah, and a little backstory on Laura Sanko. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people actually know this, but Laura Sanko, she actually used to be a fighter, and she fought for Invicta, but she fought at 105 pounds, so it was the weight class under straw weight. It was called Anthem weight, and they just don't have that weight class in the UFC, so that's why she didn't pursue a career in the UFC because they literally just don't have her weight class. And Invicta is like an all women's promotion, so I mean they would make things work for women, obviously, and they found her fighters, and she was the Invicta Atomweight champion when she. I'm pretty sure she was undefeated too. I could be wrong on that. Do you have another MMA topic? Non-MMA.
Did you hear about the Chinese balloon flying over?
No.
I don't even know where it was, but apparently there was a Chinese balloon just flying over the U.S.
Oh, really?
Balloon? Like, how's a balloon just get over? I don't know.
When they say balloon, or they mean like hot air balloon, like a blimp?
It could be like a weather balloon.
Yeah, imagine it's just like one of those like the balloon. It has the clown, just the little balloon, and it has a China symbol on it. Or the China flag.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just been a big thing on Twitter lately. That's where I get all my news.
Yeah.
Twitter.
Oh yeah.
It's probably not the best place.
No, that is the best place. But you didn't see. They didn't show any images of it. They just said balloon flying over.
Yeah,
Chinese balloon.
They just showed like a dot in the sky or something.
Hmm.
And then there was just a bunch of reports. They were like, "Yep, it's a Chinese one."
No. That's very interesting, I guess.
Something.
Yeah. Well, the only other MMA topic I had was there's this Russian fighter that got signed with the UFC and he only has one eye, but I don't really know what else more to say besides Michael Bisping was like that. Is he going to be the next Russian Michael Bisping?
Just gotta keep an eye out for that guy.
Yeah, keep an eye out. We can move on to what?
Jamie Lloyd fighting for the something belt.
Yeah, he's fighting it. Yeah, he's fighting in Kentucky March 4th. I'm pretty sure, and The Aries title is being contested for March 3rd, and that'll be with Bryce Warner and Vincent Van Alstine. I want to go watch that, and if you're not busy, we should go.
I'm down for that.
We
I
should
love
go watch.
amateur fights are so fun to go.
Yeah.
Or just any fights are so fun to go to.
Yeah, the amateur ones are definitely something else, though.
Warner is the guy who Jamie fought before you, right? Or,
Right.
that guy was pretty good. I remember
Yeah,
watching.
he is good, and he fought 2 fights before me or 3 fights before me on the
Who was
same
at that
card.
one?
Yeah, he fought Hunter Anderson. He kept fighting that. He fought the dude that kept like fake glove touching and doing a spinning back fist.
Oh, that okay.
Yeah, Bryce was in there, but he had different hair. Maybe that's why you didn't notice him. All right, well.
Oh yeah, I did watch that fight. That was a good ass fight.
Okay, yeah, you know
Beat
what I'm
the
talking.
shit out of him.
Yeah, he did. So we can move on to the very star-studded UFC card this weekend. That's full of just absolute superstars.
Superstar, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start with the first one: Yusaku Kinoshita versus Adam Fugitt. Kinoshita is at -350 and Fugitt is at +240.
I mean,
What's up?
I don't know. I'm looking at it right here. Fugitt.
Fugitt.
5.5-inch reach, and then Kinoshita is 22 years old.
Yeah, he is
Younger
young.
than me.
Yep.
Holy hell.
And I noticed one thing about Kinoshita is he has a 100% finish rate, and his only loss is a DQ, kind of like John Jones. He's only had 7 fights, but the only loss on his record is a DQ. And I didn't go back and look at how he got DQ'd. I would like to. I probably should go do that. But he's making his UFC debut this time. We'll see if he has the UFC jitters, is what they call it, in their first fight. But when I actually did a prediction on Fugitt a while ago when he fought Marlon Moraes. Not maybe it was Marlon Moraes. It wasn't the 35er Marlon, but something like that. And
Chito Vera.
no, it wasn't Cheeto. Because this is at welterweight. This is at 170.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed about Fugitt is that if he sees something that he thinks he can exploit on you, he will just go to it like and have the most tunnel vision about it. And it actually worked for him in his like LFA, like it wasn't like a championship, but it wasn't like even a contender spot. I don't even think it was just a big fight where he was a huge underdog, and he threw like 10 head kicks in a row. Like, I'm not even joking. He threw like 10 head kicks in a row, and eventually he stopped throwing the head kicks and he threw an uppercut and knocked the dude out. But it was just wild how like he just kept going to the same weapon over and over again, and the guy couldn't capitalize on it. And that's it. Do you got anything besides that on these dudes? Who you picking?
I'm gonna go with fuck it because
Alright.
I'm gonna go. I'm looking at the reach. I just feel like that's just a I don't know, 5.5 inches.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's massive.
Yeah, and he also he knows how to use that reach, and when he notices he has the reach advantage, that's when he likes to use those long kicks. And
I feel like that, the age thing too. It's like,
yeah,
I mean, he only has a couple more fights than Shida, but I don't know. I just feel like age. And then,
you think the experienced veteran's gonna get it done?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with fuck it.
Hell yeah. Well, that'll be honestly, that's not a bad line price for this fight. I feel like I think it's well matched in a sense that this veteran is fighting the new up and comer, making his UFC debut with a 100% finish rate. But you took Fugitt at +240, so that means you'll risk 100 for 240. I'm gonna take Kinoshita with the big risk at -350 for $100 profit, and I really hope I don't
See something we don't.
Right, yeah. Hopefully, I don't sell the bag on first fight of the night. The next fight, which has actually got some type of hype behind it, Ho Choi Superboy versus Kyle Nelson. Did you ever watch Ho Choi before his long extended breaks that he likes to take? This guy likes.
I've only heard of Kyle Nelson.
Ho Choi. This guy likes to take like super long breaks. Before his last fight, which was in 2019. He took like a 700-day break, they said on the broadcast, before that fight. And so he hasn't fought since 2019, and he lost that fight. And then he hasn't won a fight since 2016. Did I say that right? Yeah, 2019 was his last fight, and he lost. But he hasn't won a fight since 2016. I did watch his last fight though with Charles Jourdain, the 2019 one, and he does have power in his hands, but he tends to just almost walk forward with no care and doesn't like to take a step backwards, and that's what got him in trouble, and he ended up getting knocked out like right at the end of the second or the third. And but one thing about Kyle Nelson, they're kind of in the same boat where they're not on their best like streaks, but Nelson has been more active. He is 1-4 in his last 5, and but he does tend to have a problem with people that will just walk forward and take damage, and that is a guy like Doo-Ho Choi. He tends to have those types of fights. So I think if Choi doesn't get knocked out early, he's going to end up taking over in this fight. But I think if Choi can not get knocked out, essentially, he's going to win a decision. But who do you have?
I'm gonna go with Kyle Nelson because he's the only one I've ever even heard of.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know actually. What did you say, Doo-Ho Choi Superboy?
Yeah, super. That's his like.
Dope name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with him actually.
All right. Yeah, Doo-Ho Choi, Superboy. He actually just recently had one of his fights put in the Hall of Fame. But his fight with Cub Swanson was put in the Hall of Fame last year in the fight wing. But I think this is gonna be a very. It turned out to be fun. It could turn out to be not so fun and could just kind of boring. But I'm gonna take Kyle Nelson based on the fact of the inactivity of Doo-Ho Choi, not having a fight since 2019, and before that it was like a little over 2-year layoff before that one. So I'm gonna pick the more active fighter in Kyle Nelson, risk 100 for 150, and you'll take Doo-Ho Choi you'll risk 205 for 100. Moving on to the co-main event with 2 heavyweights who I don't really know that much about. What about you? I'll let you talk first.
Ivanov, Ivanov, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's from Russia, isn't he?
I actually don't think so. It's something else.
Oh. He's from Bulgaria.
Okay.
Those are some scary people out of
Yeah.
That's a scary ass name.
Yeah.
Blagov?
Blagoy?
Oh, but I mean, Marcin Tybura, he's from Poland. You know who else is from Poland? Lil
Yachty?
He took the walk.
He took the walk there. So that might be where it is. Maybe he took the walk to Marcin.
I don't know. I'm looking at the reach again. Marcin Tybura. He's got a 5-inch reach.
And he's 4 inches taller.
He weighs 249.
He weighed in at 249?
And Blagov weighs 250, so I mean that pound.
That pound.
Down and that reach could get. I'm gonna go with Tybura.
Tybura.
Shout out Lil Yachty.
Hell yeah. One thing I would say before I pick anybody is that if you're a betting man, I would stay away from this fight. I think it's gonna end up being weird as hell, like a weird ass heavyweight fight where usually Yeah, but that's what we like to see as heavyweights. We like to see them fucking unload and knock each other out. But one, they're going to be at opposite stances. Blagoy is a southpaw and Tybura is a orthodox fighter, so they're going to be at this like far away distance as heavyweights as it is. And Blagoy has like almost 0% finish rate. It seems like it's like he's had like 15 fights and only 6 finishes. I think I could be wrong on that, but I'm going to pick Tybura too. I'm going to go with you, and we're both going to risk the minus 145. So risk 145 for $100 profit. Now moving on to the super star-studded co-main event where both fighters are unranked in the light heavyweight division. Da Un Jung versus Devin Clark. Devin Clark, let me just lay out some stats right here. Devin Clark has a 39% finish rate. Absolute garbage. 2-3 in his last 5, which just means you're in the UFC. You know, you can be on a bad streak, you know. And has been finished 6 times in his career, which, and 3 on each side. He's been KO'd/TKO'd 3 times and sub 3 times. Jung, he is 4 inches taller. He was KO'd his last time out, but before the Sam Alvey draw that he had, he was on a 12-fight win streak, what I saw, which was that's pretty impressive. 12 fights in a row, anywhere, even if you're not in the UFC.
Damn, he big as hell. Holy shit.
Da Jung.
Yeah, I just looked at a picture of him built.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
He looked like a damn fridge.
He's coming in at minus 265, and Devin Clark is plus 190.
We'll go with the fucking fridge.
Yeah, the fridge.
The Jung. It's the reach, man. The height.
Yeah.
Height, you know, Devin Clark getting starched.
Yeah, I can see that definitely happen. And one of the fights that I saw Devin Clark in, he got his damn teeth knocked out, and he just kept going.
Yeah.
He had like his whole like front row of his bottom teeth were like bent backwards. It was gross as hell. But I'm gonna pick the. Is he Japanese?
He is Korean.
I'm gonna pick the Korean fridge is what we should call him. Da Jung. We'll both risk 265 for 100. And now moving to the main event, which is I love anytime Derek Lewis fights.
Yeah.
When it comes to the pre-fight, the post-fight, the fight itself, everything about Derek Lewis is fucking awesome. He has the one thing about Derek Lewis, he's got the most KOs in UFC history, no matter what weight class. And but the only thing I do have against him is he hasn't done too well against top level competition as of late. But I think he still belongs up there. I saw Daniel Cormier say a thing that he's done at the top of the division, but he's only 37, and I know that sounds kind of old, but for heavyweights they hop into their prime a little bit later. So to me, Derek Lewis is just getting into his prime, and he's already has the most KOs in UFC history. But what do you have anything before I go further?
I mean, I like Derek Lewis, the Black Beast.
No, yeah.
The polar bear.
You're gonna take the polar bear?
The polar bear for this fight.
Oh yeah, Spivac.
Is he the one? No, who fought Tuivasa last? It wasn't this guy, right?
No, I think Tui.
That guy's scary.
I think Tuivasa's last fight was the Sergey Pavlovich.
Oh, not this guy.
The big Russian. I could be wrong on that. I think I'm right though.
This guy is from Moldova, like Eastern Europe.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good too. His last loss was to Tom Aspinall, and if you know who Tom Aspinall is,
I got a signed card by him.
Yeah, he's a damn savage. Spivac has an 87% finish rate, and he averages over 4 takedowns a fight. We all know how Derek Lewis takedown defense is. It's literally just get up. You tell him to get up, he just shoves the dude off of him. But we're gonna see if he can do that against Spivac. I did notice one thing. What do you see? Can you see what he was weighed in? Do you have those pulled up? Like what he weighed in at? Spivac?
Let me check real quick.
I got it. If I can do it.
It says 260, but that could just be like what they're.
I see 255. And one thing I noticed, if you're not cutting that like 265 mark and you're going against Derek Lewis, you better have some real technical skill. And I think Spivac does. I think he does. But anytime I see the Black Beast at plus money, I might have to take that. Just anytime. Anytime I see him, especially under the age of 40, at plus money, I'm probably going to take it. So
there's always a chance for a KO with the Beast.
Oh yeah. But that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Derek Lewis at plus 180, risk the 100 for 180. And you're
I don't know, I was looking at a picture of Spivac?
Spivac, I think.
Sergey. I was looking at pictures of Sergey. He just looks a little frail for the Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the Beast going.
You might have to.
I get that he's 15-3, but I'm gonna go with Black Beast.
A wise way.
Bet against this guy.
Right, the plus money dude. Seeing him at plus money makes it even more tempting, or inviting to
Yeah,
take
I know
him.
he's lost his last two. Was it 3 or
Yeah.
4? He's lost his last couple fights. He's due for one.
Yeah,
He's got his next
exactly.
one.
He's due for one. Eventually, he's gonna swing that leather and someone's gonna fall. And a wise word I heard by, I'm pretty sure it was Curtis Blades, uh, just because you weigh 255 or 265 doesn't mean you're a heavyweight. And I think that's where Derek Lewis might prove this guy wrong. You got any more thoughts on this super awesome card that we're gonna see at 9 o'clock p.m.? That's when it starts. That's when the prelims start
Where is this at?
in Vegas,
God
and
damn.
the main card starts at like midnight.
I think I might have to take an early night on
No,
this one.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
read about it
Oh yeah,
the next day.
oh yeah. I think
Uh,
the main event's supposed to happen at like 2 a.m. or something. Like it's
Ugh,
crazy.
gross.
Yeah. Well,
I'll wake up and see a knockout, I guess.
right, exactly. And speaking of that, like I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere with that, but now I don't remember. Anyways, I'm gonna just get into the Swink slips because I only really got 3 of them. I usually would have a lock of the night and a 3-fighter parlay, but I wouldn't trust putting any 3 fighters on this card together or putting anybody as your lock. So I'm not gonna do either of those two, but I do have an underdog, a prop of the night, and a Slowburn slick pick. My underdog of the night is going to be Kyle Nelson against Duho Choi, and I was speaking about that earlier. I think the inactivity is the reason I picked this, and seeing Duho Choi at a minus 205 after missing 3 years and hasn't won a fight in 7, I'm probably going to take the guy at plus money against that. But that's essentially the only reason why. And then my prop of the night is Lewis by KO/TKO, which is at plus 240, which would be awesome because we're basically just putting a lot of eggs into one basket, and that got me into trouble the first week. But I'm really hoping that I'm hedging myself a little bit in the main event, but I'm hoping that that method of putting all my eggs in one basket works this week. So we got Lewis by KO/TKO as the prop of the night, and my Slowburn slick pick of the week is Lewis versus Spivac under 1.5 rounds at minus 125, which I thought the line should have definitely been higher on this one, at least at like minus 200 for them to be under 1.5 rounds. I know it's a main event and there's 5 rounds potential, but Sergey Spivak has a
He's not going to 5.
right, yeah, I don't
Derek
think
Lewis don't like 5.
they're definitely not going 5, and I just really don't even think they go 2. I think I know Sergey Spivak has an 87% finish rate. Derek Lewis has the most KOs in UFC history. That's like a recipe for someone getting finished in the first round. So that's how I'm gonna hedge myself a little bit. I'm gonna take Lewis by KO/TKO at plus 240. So you risk $100, you'll win 240 profit. And even if Spivak dusts Derek Lewis in the first round and a half, which could definitely happen, I'll still get $100 back. Basically, that bet back if that doesn't go through. That's. I really don't have much after that. Do you have any? Did you have another non-MMA topic or anything like that you wanted to go over?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, this. I knew this podcast was gonna go a little quick because this card sucks. But we are in now of a stint of 8 straight events. There's going to be an event every week for 8 weeks, including this one tomorrow. That comes tomorrow.
Is next week's one the pay-per-view?
The Volkanovski and Islam one.
That one, I feel like that one will be a good card.
Yeah, that one's going to be good. And the co-main event is Jair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett, which I think that's going to be a good fight. There's probably some really other good fights on that card too, so definitely better than tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna suck. I might not even stay up. I might just wait and watch the card again on Sunday, just because.
They should have made this one at least earlier.
Yeah.
So, like not many more people are gonna watch it.
Right, I agree.
Especially that late at night.
So late. The prelims starting at 9 p.m. is crazy, and I think the reason why is because the pay-per-view next week is in Australia, so maybe they're trying to I don't know.
What time is that one gonna start?
That one, I have no clue what time
Like,
that's gonna
they're a
start.
day ahead of us.
Yeah, I have no clue what time that's gonna start. But that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate everybody that's been watching these podcasts here recently. I know we're on the 4th one, keeping it consistent. We already had our first guest, and I like where we're going. I think we're going in the right direction. Peace.